What's going on, CDL fans? Today we're going to be doing our power rankings before Major 3. We're finally back to land, so I'm really excited to kind of talk about these teams as we head into our third Major of the year, and then after that, we just have Major 4 and then Champs. So we are coming down towards the end of the season here, down to our second half for sure. And we're going to start off with these power rankings here with the Boston Breach at number 12. They have probably the longest standing run at number 12 in any of my power rankings ever. I've been doing these videos for a couple years now, and I don't think any team's ever been at 12 this long. So shout out to Boston. They went 0-7, as you can see down below underneath me. They got to figure something out. They're pretty much chalked for champs. It's not completely chalked. They can obviously still mathematically make it, but they would have to play exceptional and other teams would have to play bad. So it's just, they need the stars to align if they want to make it. Then just above them, also not moving this week. I know they did get a win, but I have the Las Vegas Legion at number 11. We only got to see one match playing with Johnny. They went to a game 5, which they won, obviously, versus the Boston Breach, who are the worst team in the game. So you go game 5 versus Boston. You are already number 11. You still are above them, so I think it's fair, but I definitely do think Legion, especially with Attach and Nero, could have a chance to, make a couple upsets at the Major, but for now, they're at 11 in the power rankings. Now we start to get into some of the teams that are moving around on the rankings. At number 10, down one spot, is the LA Gorillas. LAG got rid of Assault, brought in Flames, won both their matches that weekend, but then proceeded to not win another match since then and went 2-5 on the split. They got absolutely smoke showed, like honestly one of the most dominant performances I've seen by the Miami Heretics this weekend. LAG, I don't really know what to expect from them at LAN. Like, this rankings isn't a prediction of how I think the LAN is going to go. This is just my power rankings based on recent weeks, obviously, if you see these videos every week. But LAG have just kind of been trending back down since picking up Flames. And yeah, they lost to a Miami team who's pretty inconsistent, and they got absolutely smoked. Then at number 9, also down, this time 2 spots, is the Minnesota Rocker. Rocker is a team that I do think has upset potential, right? You got Lamar, you got Gunless, Standy Lins. 3 of those guys have had success on LAN in the past. I know Standy only has like 1 win, I think, in his career, but Gunless has done it in the past. His first CDL LAN in a long time. They definitely could have a bit of an upset, maybe in loser's bracket, but in terms of power rankings, they are down to 9 because they really just haven't won a whole ton. Now, they did have a really tough schedule, but they really haven't won a lot. Now we finally have our first team that's moving up in the rankings. It is the Miami Heretics, up to number 8, into the top 8, up 2 spots from last week. Miami, like I said, absolutely dominated LAG. They got the win. They ended the split, I believe, 3-4. So they haven't won a map on LAN, obviously, so it's going to be interesting to kind of see what happens with them on LAN, but they made winner's bracket. They give themselves 2 shots. They go up against the Atlanta FaZe in the first round, and then if they lose, they'd fall to play Las Vegas Legion. So they have their work cut out for them. Miami Heretics is definitely on the uptrend. And then to round out our right side of the board here at number 7, down 1 spot, is the Seattle Surge. Seattle lost 2 matches this weekend. They lost to Atlanta FaZe, where they got honestly kind of dominated. They did take a map off FaZe, but it was only the search and destroy. And then they also lost to the LA Thieves. So Seattle Surge on the downtrend a little bit. And now they get to go into LAN. First time with this team. 0-4's first LAN. Real's first LAN for Miami. I didn't mention that in the last segment. But Seattle Surge, definitely interesting team heading into LAN. But for now, they're down 1. Now we get into our top 6 and up a spot into the top 6. Or up 2 spots, actually. It is the London Royal Ravens. Now, London, I think, is probably the heaviest sleeper pick or dark horse pick you could pick at this event. Now, the team I have above them, LA Thieves, is at number 5. I think a lot of people probably have them in that 5 rank. They're going up against New York in round 1. LA Thieves also definitely a dark horse team, but we've seen Ravens beat New York on LAN. We've seen Ravens get top 6s on LAN this season. So for that reason, I do think they are actually probably the biggest dark horse for this Major. Right above them, LA Thieves, like I said, another dark horse. My team, I really want to see these guys get a top 6, if not a top 4. But these 2 teams right here at 5 and 6 are for sure the dark horses. And then for the rest of them, honestly, it's in the exact same order as it's been for like the last 4 or 5 weeks, probably. New York is still at 4. Ultra over New York, obviously. I mean, they even beat them this week, so of course they're going to stay there. And then Optic and FaZe. I'm sure some people are going to argue, oh, you should have Ultra over Optic. Optic hasn't lost to anybody but FaZe in like 3 months. Like, I think they're 19-0 since like since Major 1 pretty much, and the only losses, they're 19-0 versus everyone else, and then they've lost obviously 6 times to FaZe is what I'm trying to say. So Optic, I think, is number 2. FaZe, obviously, number 1. We don't even really have to talk about them, but these are kind of the power rankings heading into the Major. Like I said, this is not my prediction as to, like, where these teams are going to finish, but these are my rankings based on the qualifying weeks and everything we've seen leading up this season as they adjust throughout the weeks. Definitely let me know down below who you have as your biggest dark horse. Like I said, I got Ravens, I think, is, like, realistically the biggest dark horse because of the success they've had on LAN. LAT, I think, is another one, but we haven't won a series on land just yet this season. So I'm hoping the boys can come out and at least get a top 6. A top 4 would be lovely. But let me know what you think about the rankings down below. Make sure to sub to the channel for more CDL content. I'm going to be live Saturday and Sunday with the watch party, watching the major. Won't be live Thursday and Friday because I have to work my 9-to-5 job, but I'll be live Saturday and Sunday. So definitely tune into that. I'm hoping to see you there, new faces and old faces. With all that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.